I've heard the name of my next guest for years. My girlfriend's a patient of his, and she really likes going to Dr. James Cole. Somebody who likes going to the dentist? Yes, Dr. Cole is a dentist here in Farmington and has been for many years. But how could somebody possibly like going to the dentist? That's an absolutely terrifying thought to me. Okay, so the guy has at least one patient that really likes him, but why is that a reason for a Think Tech episode? By itself, it's not, until I learned that Dr. Cole participates in the New Mexico Dental Association Foundation's Mission of Mercy events, the largest charity events in the state, where volunteers donate their time and expertise to provide dental services to those in need. Not only that, he hops a plane with an organization called Mission Outfitter, flies to Peru, climbs onto a riverboat, and travels the Amazon River providing free dental services to people in remote places in the rainforest? What? Is this guy Indiana Jones of dental care? Okay, that's it. I have to meet this guy. I have to know more about this. Dr. Cole is used to bringing people into his office and putting them in his dentist chair. Now it's his turn to step into my think tank and strap in while I get him to open up. I can't wait to meet this guy. Want to see how it goes?
Come along for the ride in Ken's Think Tank. Ken's Think Tank is made possible by the following sponsors. 505 Cycles proudly serves all types of riders, including new and veteran riders, road and mountain bike aficionados, recreation and transportation cyclists. The 505 community is all about fun and the love of all things bikes.
We just picked you up from your office, your
Yes.
new office
Yes.
on 30th Street.
Integrity Dental.
Integrity Dental.
And
You used to be on Main Street.
We were on Main Street. We were in a little bitty shoebox. And now we have this beautiful new office. And it's just, we're spoiled already because we went from an office that was probably around 1,100, 1,200 square feet to 2.5 times that size, and we just love it.
Wow.
I mean, it's just every day I drive up, I'm very thankful that I have an office like that. It's something we've worked for a long time to make happen. A long time.
So it's on 30th Street.
30th Street.
You've been there about a year now?
It'll be a year the first week of April, so we're getting close. We moved when everything was shutting down for the pandemic. We thought that was the best time to make the move. So
right.
we saw our last patient March the 20th in the old office, and we're seeing emergencies in the new office the first week of April.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a quick turnaround. It was a lot going on.
And we're going to end up driving by your old office down
Oh
here.
my
We're
goodness.
going to do a drive-by, a flyby.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned you were on the board of directors for the New Mexico Dental Association?
Yes, I was on it and it seems like the numbers always change, but I think it was a solid 11 years. It might have been 12, and then 6 to 7 years of that, I was actually the president of the board.
Nice.
And that we kind of were overseers or facilitators for many programs throughout the state, dental programs. The biggest is Missions of Mercy.
Right.
And those are a rotating dental outreach that moves around the state to different towns and cities. They are big undertakings. It takes a lot of volunteers, a lot of dentists, and a lot of fundraising to put those together. Usually they're 2 years, 18 months to a 2-year commitment when we have an individual or group of individuals that want to take over the leadership to bring it to their particular city. Farmington's had 1, Albuquerque's had 2, I believe, Las Cruces has 2, so it's been going on for many years. And with COVID, we had already secured our location for the next Mission of Mercy.
Okay.
Here in Farmington. It was going to be this next fall, but with COVID, it pushed everything back, and it's made it a real challenge. So we don't know what our next Mission of Mercy is going to look like.
Wow. And so that's the New Mexico Mission of Mercy. It operates under the foundation.
That is
branch
correct.
Of
Yeah.
Of the Dental Association.
Yes. There's two entities at the state level. There's the New Mexico Dental Association, and then there's the New Mexico Dental Association Foundation.
The foundation, yeah.
And the foundation is the benevolent arm of the Dental Association.
Okay.
They have different functions, but they work in conjunction with each other.
And so the New Mexico, the Mission of Mercy deal, so they're kind of evaluating areas and populations and groups of people around the state, and when they find a group of people that's in need, they don't have access to dental care or just are not able to get it, and for whatever reason, then people like yourself then come in and just provide that.
That's exactly right. And
that's awesome.
We will usually have, a dentist or a couple of dentists, leads for, as you were saying, a particular area that'll come to us 2-3 years before it actually happens. Say, hey, we want to have one. We're here to provide the leadership and the fundraising and a facility to make that happen.
Cool.
And then we come alongside them to make that happen, to make that a reality.
And is there usually, say, a small group of dentists?
Usually in the leadership positions, that's always how it's been historically. You'll have 1, 2, sometimes several leads or event chair people.
Okay.
And they will in turn kind of take the reins and make it happen for their area.
Right.
It takes a while to get the right people in the right places and the volunteers. Usually for every patient we see, there is at least one volunteer. So if you're seeing 1,000 patients, you've got 1,000 volunteers over the 4-day event.
That's a big undertaking.
It is a big undertaking. It's, as of even today, it's still the largest charitable event in New Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
huge.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and there's so much fun. I mean, you go and as a dentist, I mean, I've done it in I've worn several hats. I've been a president of the board, but then I've also been just a dentist that's been working behind the scenes and doing that. And you're just exhausted. I mean, you work yourself to death, but it's so enjoyable. It is for me. I mean, it's
really
just
rewarding.
I love it. I mean, it's it's just the people that you see at the events that come and that are in desperate need of dental care. They will sometimes stay overnight and get in line a day or two ahead of time, sometimes days ahead.
Yeah.
Spend the night outside. I mean, it's just
wow.
You can't help but show up for somebody that wants to see you that bad.
Yeah, you mentioned fun, right? So here's my thing. I'm probably not too far off of the normal. You have to deal with this all the time, I know.
There's the old office right here.
There's the old office.
There's the old office.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So so here's the thing. I'm a great big baby. That is my last remaining fear is needles. Needles of any kind for any purpose absolutely terrify me.
I get it.
And then the dentist office are the most terrifying needles of all the needles. And it's coming at your head.
Well, now let me ask you. Do you have any tattoos?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Because and there's no judgment on tattoos.
Right.
No disrespect. I mean, it's not for me, but I have no problem with them. But it's usually the guys that come in
with the tattoos
that have a sleeve or multiple tattoos, and the first thing out of their mouth is, "Are you going to use a needle on me?"
Really?
Just like, really, dude? Come on.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, they're breaking out in a sweat, and it's
goodness.
just like, we got to get a heart rate monitor. Come on. But Yeah,
The other
I
part
get
of
it.
that is that I don't know, something about Novocaine and all that just doesn't quite work on me.
Okay.
So that's the terrifying briefing I usually give a dentist is here's the thing. I'm more terrified of that needle than I am anything else in this world. But I'm going to need you to give me more Novocaine than you think I should probably have because I'm going to feel everything that you do.
I have patients exactly like you. They're very upfront about it, just like you were saying. They're like, yeah, I'm just really going to need half a gallon of that stuff today, okay? So we get it.
Besides the work that you do with Mission of Mercy, you also do some work with, I think it's called Mission Outfitter.
Yes,
And
yes.
What they do is Central and South America.
That is correct. Yeah,
Events.
I've been 9 different trips with them to Peru. Their focus has been Peru for the last, 10, 12 years. But I've been on 9 different trips to the Amazon region of Peru. And those are adventure trips. I mean,
Yeah.
they're very difficult. Most of the time you get a little bit sick just because
Sure.
the water or the food. It's they're hard trips. They're hard physically, they're hard emotionally, spiritually, everything. I mean, they're difficult. But we have done multiple different kinds of outreaches over the years. Sometimes we go down a tributary of the Amazon. Sometimes we stay fairly close to where we fly in. And so we have seen a lot of things over the years. So we've been to tribes or people groups that were previous headhunters many years ago. I mean, they have an oral history where they talk about men coming in masks, iron masks, talking about the conquistadors.
Yeah.
So I mean, just hundreds and hundreds of years of this oral history, and yeah, it's seen some crazy stuff.
Oh my goodness!
I've seen piranha, I've seen anacondas, I've seen boa constrictors, and I mean, you can't believe how many things can eat you or sting you or hurt you out there.
Now, honestly, did you ever at some point think, well, you're a young guy, you're going to school, and you're learning how to be a dentist, and you're thinking, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to travel the Amazon and fix people's teeth.
Yeah.
Did you ever have that thought?
I'm going to go with a solid no on that. But you know what? Even in school, we did mission trips to Mexico, the border towns of Mexico. So I mean, early on, I had a desire to do that, and I love it. I love the adventure of it.
Right.
I love that it's hard. I love being able to make an impact on somebody's life that has no idea. There's people out there that can come and do medical dental treatment, and I like all of it. I mean, Peru specifically is hard because it's always hot. I mean, they always say there's a dry season and a wet season, but I think it's the only difference that 2 drops of rain.
Yeah. It rained one less day.
Yeah,
in the dry
exactly.
season, yeah.
And usually this is the time of year that we would go in February. And so you're coming out of winter in Farmington, New Mexico, and stepping into 80 to 90 degrees in the jungle, and about that much humidity, and it just the first couple days you're just like, I don't know what, I need to go home early or something. It's pretty tough, but but early on I just really enjoyed it. I really did like it, and I'm thankful. I'm grateful for the privilege and the opportunity to be able to go and serve in that way.
Now, what's your probably most eye-opening experience on one of those trips?
Oh man, I could describe that in multiple ways. I mean, from a natural standpoint, it's seeing animals that you've heard of your whole life,
Right.
but like right up close.
Yeah.
Many years ago that we went way, I mean, it took us like 3 days just to get to the location by boat. I mean, we were going 24 hours a day just to
Wow.
get there. And one of the days we took a side trip up to a offshoot of the particular tribe we were working in, and we were in a smaller boat and just kind of meandering up. Beautiful morning, and there was something in the water, and you could see it. It was moving across the river.
Yeah.
And as we got closer, we could tell it was a snake. And as we got within just a few feet of it, the wake of the boat kind of pushed the snake up,
Yeah.
and he raised his head up out of the water.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm sitting on that side right by that thing, and his head is like right there, and I'm looking at his eye, and he's looking at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is where it ends, right here.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
it was a beautiful dark blue, kind of metallic blue, just an absolutely beautiful creature. I hate snakes, so you know, he can be beautiful somewhere else, but it was just right there, and then he dropped down, and come to find out later, it was highly poisonous.
Really?
So if he'd have been in the boat, I'd have been walking on water or something to get away from him.
Goodness.
But but then the locals, some of the interpreters we had with us from that tribe, they were just laughing. They thought that was the funniest thing. This big, tall, white guy,
Yeah.
afraid of the snake, trying to crawl over everybody, and it's crazy.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, and what really strikes you is when you leave Lima, which is the capital of Peru, and then you fly to Iquitos. It's about a 2.5, 3 hour flight. You go over the Andes Mountains, and on a clear day, it looks like the Alps or the Rockies that we have here. And they're absolutely stunning. But then after you cross over, it is like a solid wall of green for as far as you can see. The rainforest it's overwhelming how massive it is. And you will look out both sides of that plane and go, man, I hope we don't crash, because they're not ever finding us here.
No end to it.
It just is unbelievable. It's just this giant green carpet ground. It's just, and it just goes forever.
Wow.
It stretches to the horizon, and it's just, and that where we go is just a small part of the Amazon region.
Right.
I mean, it's just crazy, and the people. I mean, they're just so appreciative. They're just kind of overwhelmed too. I mean, most Peruvians are very small in stature, and you got these big white people coming from North America and saying they want to help you. I'm sure it's kind of
a very strange experience.
It is for them too. It's like, well, what? They want me to open my mouth and do what? I'm not sure I want to do that, but they're appreciative of every little thing. And we've been times where floodwaters have been high. I mean, it floods every year.
Yeah.
And this particular year was one of those 50 to 100 year occurrences where everything was underwater, no food, starvation, and we helped bring food supplies and meals to these jungle communities, and that was awesome just to be a part of that.
I think that would be a valuable thing for anybody ever to do, is to travel the world into cultures that are vastly different from your own.
Yeah,
and spend time there.
I would encourage people to do that. It's
not at the tourist resorts.
No,
experience.
No, it's not a Club Med.
Right.
It's not sandals. It's exactly. But that we've always joked with our mission outfitter family that, hey, when are we ever going to get to do a mission trip to Hawaii? I mean, it's just
That sounds really challenging, but that also kind of adds to, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, it's the most fun you have being exhausted It's great. I mean, it's almost like you, at least for me, it's like you crave it. You kind of have to have a little bit of a mission fix.
Yeah.
And that's why I would go once a year. Sometimes we did twice a year, but it kind of gets in your blood, and you really, it's like you need it. You need to experience it again. But
wow.
yeah, it's very cool.
Awesome, man. Well, I mean, if no one has told you that, I'm sure people where you end up, but just thank you for doing that. I mean, I'm not benefiting in any way from it, but still thank you. I mean,
well, I appreciate that. I mean, God has gifted me in certain ways to be able to go and do that. I mean, I love the adventure part of it. The biggest thing you can do is to help people all they can do is say thank you. I mean, they can't repay you. They can't, and that's okay. Yeah. That's why we go. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
So when are we going to get you to go?
I know. I was just sitting here thinking, I would love to visit a place like that, like Peru and the Amazon, but I don't see any reason. So maybe I could go along and I could be your anti-snake human. I'll just keep snakes away from you.
That's fine with me. I've had them on my neck for a photo op, and that was enough.
That won't be my full-time job, is it?
They are so.
Well, man, I'm glad we did this.
Thank
really
you.
Cool. I'm glad I got to meet you.
Absolutely. I loved it.
All the dentists that I've ever met, you're the coolest, man.
Well, thank you. Thanks for recognizing. I tell people that all the time, but they don't believe that.
I actually keep hearing it.
I tell my staff, and they're like, yeah, we don't see it.
No, I keep hearing how super cool you are. And
well, come see us. If you don't have a good dental team, come see us. We'll take care of you.
I don't have one permanently because I mostly just do everything in my
to avoid it
possible to stay away from it.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah.
I see 25 to 30 people like that every day.
So maybe if you throw a pill in me and buzz me up with some gas and get my knuckles to go from white back to normal color, then that could be this could be a thing now.
That'd be great. I'd love it. That'd be great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you too.
Yeah.
I love this. This is cool.